Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today I am so excited because my Erin Condren Life Planner launch order finally came. Honestly, it took a while. I ordered very early on launch day, EC Insider launch day, and I paid for extra shipping so that I could get my stuff quickly. However, it did not ship quickly, and then my shipping, even though I paid extra, FedEx had my delivery on their truck for 3 days in a row at the next town over and did not deliver it. And then delivered it on a day it was pouring rain, which is why it's not in a box. It did not come in a pretty box, probably because I purchased so many planners. Guys, it was a lot of planners. Okay, so there were not a ton of accessories for this Life Planner launch. I think that they have really cut back on accessories, and so I did get a couple of things, but not very many. I'm going to do the accessories first and then go through all of the planners. I expect that this is going to be a very long video because I always like to chat through all of the stuff that I have gotten. So we are going to get into it. I'm going to kind of move things around a little bit. I do want to let you know that I am planning to do a mid-year goals check challenge starting at the end of June, and I will have a sign up in the description box if you're interested in joining me. It's totally free. And I know it's still a little bit early, but I am starting to think ahead for the summer because I do run my years a little bit differently. If you've watched any of my goals videos, my spring season is just April and May, so I'm starting to think about the summer months. But this challenge will be at the end of June for a traditional summer quarter reset. So that link will be in the description, and everything that I talk about today will also be in the description. We are going to start with the accessories. Okay guys, so this is a B6 Slim monthly planner. I'm going to have to look at the website because it said Korean paper, Korean style paper, but I thought that it was Japanese paper, so I'm unsure. I'm going to check that out in just a second. I think that this has replaced the Petite Planner, the 18-month Petite Planner. This does go from July 2025 through December 2026. It is a B6 size, a little bit different than my B6. So I think that B6 has a couple of different size variations. This is the daily planner from Sterling Ink in the B6 size, but I think that Erin Condren is using the Franklin Covey measurements for B6. When they originally said it was a B6 Slim, I thought it was going to be a B6 Slim size, but I think what they meant was just it's a B6 Slim monthly planner. Like it's slim because it has the thinner paper. So this definitely is not EC paper, traditional EC paper. I'm unsure what Korean paper is. I was kind of thinking it was going to be like this Tomo River paper, and I guess it does kind of feel like that, but I'm not sure. And I really like that it is lined pages in the back, just lots of lined pages, which is traditional. I'm actually not sure where my little petite 18-month planner is from last year. Usually it's in one of my purses, but I think it might be upstairs. So this is just an 18-month monthly planner, little pocket planner. So it has your mini monthly calendars at the front from July through December. Then you just move into the little monthly calendars, and these are great to bring with you for doctor's appointments or any sort of notes outside. That's what I've always used this for. I have just kept it in my bag, my purse, and then I write any appointments for doctors or other stuff going on, and there are plenty of notes pages in the back that you can use for keeping track of really anything, or if you just need a notebook while you're out and about. So that is what I've always used this for, and I really like this design. It's kind of like it's a flexible cover, and it is paper, but it kind of feels like it has a vinyl coating. It's textured. I'll be interested to see what it's like writing on this paper. I'm not going to do any sort of pen tests, I don't think, because I don't I have one pen test on my YouTube channel if you're interested. It's actually for the Sterling Ink Common Planner, and I did that last year, and I call it the hot mess pen test because it was just so chaotic. But I will probably try and see, well, I guess I do have the markers right here, so let's look at these. These are the new dual tip markers. It is the colorful 12-pack, and the colors match the colorful planner. So you have 12 different colors, and I wanted to get this, even though I did just purchase the new dual tip markers recently. This one is aquamarine, and it's in here as well. And I think that the other dual tip marker set that I got had 8 colors. And so those 8 colors are in here plus 4 more. And this one, although this one doesn't include a black, and I think that this pack did have a black. Anyways, so I got this because I color code everything, and I have used the EC dual tip markers since they came out for color coding. Before that, I used these Staedtler Tri Plus fine liner pens, and I'm actually using these still. It's just a kind of finer tip. It's 0.3 millimeters. These are a little bit bigger because they're markers, but I love the colors, and I think they all write really nicely. But let's see. So I'm going to just take some of the darker markers, I guess, and just see. Maybe I should do it on this one. All right. Obviously, these are not all of the colors, but I'm just doing a few of them, and we'll see if there's any shadowing or bleed through. Usually on the thinner paper, there is a little bit of shadowing, but at least in my experience, the Tomo River paper doesn't really have, well, you can't really tell because, I mean, it does have shadowing, so you can see shadowing in here, but for the most part, it's not too bad. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so you are having some bleed through with the thicker side of the dual tip marker, just where I'm placing the marker down and then drawing the line and then taking up. You can see it's kind of bleeding through a little bit, but not too bad. So that is something to keep in mind. And then I was really excited to get the Life Planner sampler pack. Last year when they came out with this, I thought it was really cool. Can't actually take this plastic thing off. The only thing is that I wish that this came out early, because it doesn't really do me any good when I want a planner that starts in July. If you are buying a planner for January through December, this is perfect, except it only comes with a life planner. So you have to purchase a life planner to get this. I wish that they had this separately. And I actually think last year they did end up having this as a separate thing to purchase after life planner launch. Maybe in the fall they had it available, but yeah. So it does start with May. So there's lots of weeks in here that you can use before you actually start your planner in July. It just has the weekly layouts and maybe some dashboard pages. So you have May 2025. I think that this is the dashboard layout for the colorful. And then you move into the colorful hexagon vertical weekly, which I did get as a preview and did a full review of a colorful weekly planner. This is the, oh gosh, what is their floral design? Bouquet. It's Bouquet. And I got 2 Bouquet planners. I don't like this color, this like tannish color. Oh goodness. Okay, guys. Then we have the hourly planner. Is this in the minimal style, which used to be canvas and now it's minimal, and they combined the canvas and the focus collection. This is the hourly layout. It goes from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then this is the new dashboard layout in the colorful hexagon, which I really like. We will see. We will see how it goes. I like this priority section with the habits, the daily habits or daily things that you need to do, the to-do list, and the notes section, your priorities for the week. And then this is the daily layout. So you have week at a glance, and then you're going to have each daily planning page. And if you've seen any of my Plan With Me's, you will know that I use both the vertical weekly as well as the daily duo. I really like how large the numbers are. I usually get an A5, so, and I did get an A5, so we will see. And then you move into June, and this is the bouquet dashboard. Really, really like the June colors. Then you have the June vertical weekly. So it might just be the May colors that I don't like. We will see. You do have the holidays up here. Then you are moving into the minimal horizontal layout, which I've never used. I have purchased one in the past, which I tried to use for memory keeping and then did not use it. And then this is the hourly layout for the hexagon. And then the bouquet for the new dashboard layout, which seems like everybody absolutely loves. And that is the end of this sampler pack. Mine's kind of falling apart and it's a little bit beat up. So you have all of the layouts listed right here on the side, and it does give you a chance to try out all of the different layouts. So essentially, if you try this one time, if you get this one time, you will know for your next life planner purchase what layout kind of works for you, what you would like to use. So now we are going to move into the life planners that I got, and I got 3. I did get 3. I don't know, guys, we'll see. So I got this navy hexagon design, and it is a little bit smudged. I got the rose gold coil, which I absolutely love. I already did a full review and walkthrough of the vertical weekly planner that they sent to me. However, that was a 12-month planner, which I always get an 18-month planner. So I ordered my own, and it also was on a gold coil, and I don't like the gold coil. So I got the rose gold coil. This is the colorful hexagon version. I did not get anything personalized. The cover choices, I really liked them, but I didn't want it personalized, and I wanted one of the bouquet varieties, but once you don't have it personalized, they take away the square block thing. Also, all of the planner covers that I liked had gold foil accents, and I don't want the gold foil accents. I wanted the rose gold. So anyways, this is their little stencil ruler that they came out with last year, and there we go. I don't actually use this, but it is quite useful, and I mentioned this in my preview video as well. I saw Hannah from Hand Can Plan use this line as a straight edge for highlighters, and I never even considered doing that, but that is an option. So here is the bookmark. It comes with every life planner. You open it up, and there is the dashboard interior layout for your cover. I've seen some people not have this barcode on the front, but mine does, so I don't know. This has been a little bit of a different launch than past years because I feel like they scaled way back, but the planners themselves are really, really nice. They have this vellum sheet, but the vellum is not printed anymore. The print design is just here. So you have the hexagon design here, life planner vertical layout. This is my life. This beautiful hexagon design here, and then you move into the mini monthly calendars, July through December. Love these. The font is really nice. I think they did change it just a bit this year, which I may have mentioned in my review as well. Then you get into your 12 goals boxes or monthly boxes, or however you want to use these. I label them July through June, and that's kind of what I use these boxes as. Sometimes it's gifts, sometimes it's important dates, sometimes it's big purchases. It really just depends on the year. Then the new addition this year is that they are giving you May and June monthly calendars before the planner starts, which is nice, especially for those of us that when we get the planner in May, we want to start using it immediately. Last year, when I got my planner, it was the first year that I really did want to start it in May, and I got it early enough, so I set up my May calendar. I ended up using, I think it was October and November of 2025 as May and June 2024, and I relabeled the month, but the days were the same. I just had to put a label over this. So technically, I could do the same thing this year. I could use this as the May monthly calendar, and then in the back use October as the month of May, because the days line up. I would just have to white out the holidays, which I do anyways. So you have May and June, and then you move into July. And I said this in my review video as well. These are so bright. I don't think I was expecting them to be so bright. Very, very pretty design. I was unsure about the hexagon design when they first came out with it, but honestly, I really like it a lot. So you have your July calendar. It does have holidays in it. I will white these out because a lot of the holidays that they put in their planners have nothing to do with me or my family. I wish they would do it like the teacher planner. The teacher planner doesn't have any holidays. You get to put stickers in, which is so much better in my opinion. Then you have your dashboard, which has been updated. And let me see, this is how the dashboard was last year. This was the canvas design, so it's a little bit different with the design because this is colorful, but this was the layout for all of the planners. So now they have this section over on the left side. They have some line space, a long to-do list, and some line space down here. I don't know what I would use this for. Similarly, I didn't know what to use this dot grid space for. I used it for some tracking, like when we were tracking how many eggs we were getting from our chickens, but I only did that for a few months when they just started laying. I don't know, I might put maybe a positive thought or something here. On this side, what I do is actually I label 1 through however many days are in that particular month, and I just have one positive thought or one fun thing that we did each day, and I just come in and write that quickly each day. Then you move in to the weekly planning pages, and depending on the month and how many days are in either side of the month, June or July, is going to depend where your month starts. So in previous planners, if the last week of the month went into the next month, so May 25th, the Sunday, if you start on the 26th, the 1st is actually June, it would go to behind the next month's tab. But they've changed it this year. I think they said that if it's 2 or 3 days are in the next month, it stays behind the previous month's tab. I know I'm probably not explaining that well, but honestly, I would rather have all of the last week behind the previous month's tab or all of the last week behind the next month's tab instead of the back and forth, because that's too confusing for me. I know that most planners have that kind of system. I actually feel like most planners have it behind the previous month's tab, which would be fine, but it's not the same for this planner. Some months it's behind the last tab, sometimes it's the next month. Anyways, so on your weekly layout, the holidays are up at the top. You have your traditional vertical boxes. This is what I've been using since I started using an EC planner back in 2014. It used to be morning, afternoon, and evening, but I have always used them as to do, to go, and create. With meal planning down here, when I actually get to that, which is not very often. I'm not very good at meal planning. So you have your weekly calendar. It's very pretty. I do kind of wish there was a little bit of hexagon design on these weekly pages, but it is not there. The font is nice and dark and helpful for my eyes. It's not black, it's still a gray, but it's very easy to see, which is nice for me. So you get to the end of the month and it goes through August 3rd behind the July tab. Then you turn the page and you have your notes page for the next month of August. You move into your August monthly calendar with the beautiful hexagon design. You have a notes column over here, and then you move into your dashboard layout, your extra line page, and then your weekly spreads. And they did get rid of the mini monthly calendar in the weekly planning pages, so you don't have that. You go all the way through to August 31st, and then you move into September, and we'll just go through and look at these beautiful covers. You have October, November. December is the only color change that they had this year. It used to be, well, you're not really going to be able to tell. These are Planner Kate tab stickers, which I think maybe they don't have anymore. I think somebody else asked recently, but it used to be this lime green color, but they changed it to, I think they're calling it apple. I did mention this in my previous review. This looks like camouflage to me, so I'm not a huge fan of the December. I like the tab color and I like this color, but I'm not a fan of this. Just a personal preference. January is very pretty, bright blue. February, then you have March, April, May, June, and then it does repeat with July through December for the 18-month calendar. And then you do have notes pages in the back. You have 10 notes pages in the back, and then you get to Heritage and Awareness Observances, Let's Keep in Touch, your future planning for 2027, and then some stickers, which they have redesigned to be a little bit more functional, I guess. Some gold foil, silver foil, and rose gold foil stickers. You do have your pocket in the back. I wish that this had a hexagon design on it, the way that the colorful planners have in the past. They've had a signature design, but this pocket is very functional. You have your back cover. You do get the welcome packet. It's not a welcome packet. This is just what comes with every life planner purchase, except if it is your first purchase. If it's your first purchase, you get the compliment cards and the 2 discount codes and I think some stickers. What used to be the packet that came with every planner, but now it is 2 postcards, this black dual tip marker, and 20% off coupon code. So this comes with every life planner purchase. So this is my vertical planner. I got this planner because this is what I've been using since 2014. And even though I am trying some new planner things this year, I wanted to just have it just in case I decide, no, I'm going to stick with my traditional vertical weekly and daily duo planning system. So I have it. I did not get any extra pages in this, and it's pretty full, this 18-month coil, and I'm interested to see. This one I did get notes pages, and the coil I think is exactly the same size. Okay, this is the next one that we're going to be talking about, and it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick already because of those notes pages. So you have your same ruler bookmark, which we don't need to go over. This is just one of their floral patterns, again with the navy. I'm really drawn to the navy right now. Rose gold coil, and I was definitely influenced by all of the content creators that got the dashboard layout for Life Planner launch. And I really, really liked the bouquet design, the colors that they're using. Although after I saw May and this, I'm unsure. We will see. We'll see, guys. So you have your plain vellum page, this beautiful bouquet design. Again, I got the rose gold coil. I love this. I really like this. I wish that they had the covers without the foil that have these, like, I don't know, nameplates is what I'm going to call it. So the colors are completely different than the bold blooms last year, and the font is different as well. It's a little bit of a narrower font, and so it does not jump off the page to my eyes as well as this, and I would imagine the same for the canvas design. It's not canvas anymore, guys, it's minimal. So the same July through December mini monthly calendars, and then you have your 12 boxes, and I really do like that there's a little bit of color here. I wish that the boxes on the hexagon would be colorful. Like, I don't know why these are gray lines when on the minimal layout it's also just blank. Like, I think that they should have these colors on the lines. That's just a personal preference. So you have your 12 monthly boxes, and then you move into the monthly calendar section. Now, the reason that I stopped getting the floral design a couple of years ago is because they shaded in this note section, and I just do not like that shaded in section. My pens don't write as well on this section, and I think it's whatever coating they have for the color. It just doesn't work as well with my pens. But because I really wanted to try this bouquet design, I really liked the new colors, I said, well, we'll give it a try and see. So you do have May and June, and then you move into July. And I just think that the colors are so pretty for this planner. Now this one is the dashboard layout. It does have your same monthly dashboard and line page, just a little bit of a different colorway because this is the bouquet design instead of the hexagon. So the hexagon, obviously, the colors correspond to the months, but they're different. You have your line page, and then you're moving in to the dashboard layout. And I was really excited to see this. Now, when I'm doing my weekly planning, I'm putting a lot of stuff in my planner. And I don't know if I will be able to fit everything here, but my thinking was I have a lot of work-related tasks that I write down on my daily planner every day, and this would be really a very helpful layout for me to write my habits on the side, the things that I do every day, like checking in with Patreon, checking in with Maine Homeschool Network, doing YouTube comments and emails and stuff like that. Instead of having to write it every single day in my daily plan, I could just have it here. Now this would be adding a completely new planner to my planning system, which I'm unsure about. I'm unsure if I need to have weekly planning pages for my business or not. I've been pretty successful at just keeping some of the stuff down here as well as what I put in my daily planner, and then I have like a notebook. But I was really interested in this layout. And so we will see. I think what I'm going to do, what I mentioned recently, is that I'm going to take all of the planners that I've been purchasing over the past couple of months during launch season, and I am going to try them all out over the summer when my planning is not as busy and I don't have as much going on, just to kind of see, so I have a little bit more time to play with things and see what planning system I like. Because over the past several years, even though my EC system works really well, I've been feeling this need to kind of simplify things. And I haven't simplified things. I keep buying planners and sharing them with you guys, but I haven't changed my system at all. And so I keep seeing new ideas that I want to try out. I keep wanting to have everything in one book, but it doesn't seem to work for me for a variety of reasons. So I just want to try a few things out. And that's mainly because my planning system is such a habit at this point. I don't have to think about it at all, but I'm not entirely sure that it is still serving me well, that the time that I put into planning is serving me the way I need it to as I move into a different stage of life with 1 homeschool graduate, 2 still in homeschool, my business pretty busy, but my kids are older, having a lot of doctor's appointments, working on a lot of personal goals and things as well. Is my system still working? And I reread the book Atomic Habits at the beginning of this year, and there was one section that was really interesting to me, and it talked about how when your habits become automatic, sometimes they're no longer serving you well, but because it's such a habit, you don't think about it, and so you don't think to change anything. Now, he's not saying, oh, once you have a habit, you need to keep tweaking it. That isn't the case, but sometimes you do kind of have to revisit your habits and see if they are still serving you well, or if you need to change them. And that can be just as difficult to break an old habit, even if it's a good one, and start a new habit. That can be just as difficult as starting a new habit to begin with. So I absolutely love these quote pages. They are so pretty and calming, and I love the colors. The bold blooms last year was beautiful, and Emma actually used that planner. Let me grab it. She was using the compact vertical design last year, and that worked really well. She's used a compact vertical for the past 3 years, I think, in the A5 when that was the only option, and then last year they had it in 7x9, and she was really bummed when they took this planner style away. She's not sure that the dashboard layout, which kind of replaces the compact vertical, is going to be enough for her, enough space to write down all of the things she needs to do each day. So we'll see. She's unsure what she's going to use as well. But I really like that there is all of this space over here. I think that potentially it could work for writing all of my home management stuff for each day, writing my dailies up here, and my two big focuses of daily work for my business, so my dailies, my cleaning dailies are clearing the floors, vacuum, clearing surfaces, and my office desk. And then my two dailies for work are Patreon and main homeschool network. And then I would probably just divide this note section and the to-do list with maybe like some thin washi or something like that, or just like a highlighter line, and just keep a whole to-do list right here and right here. And I just kind of X out the notes and maybe draw another line because there's a big space here. Priorities for the week, I do already at the beginning of the month write in my priorities for each week that I have like kind of a focus, so I could transfer this, whatever the focus is for the week, I can put it in this priorities section, and I could use some of this as brain dump space or just general to-dos, and then mainly have like my home management stuff that I list out each day, like these things on these lines. I could potentially make this into 2 columns for each day. I'm unsure. I really am unsure, but I do want to give it a try because I thought that this was a really interesting layout, and I know a lot of people are excited about it, so we'll see. I don't like having all the holidays. I think that it's too much, but we've already talked about that. The colors are beautiful in this planner. I think that they do repeat, like July through December and then January through June all are the same colorways, but so pretty. So you move into February, March. There really isn't a color that I don't like except for this May color. It's not my favorite. This is fine for me, but these I really don't like this color, but I'm not a huge fan of the peach either. So I don't know, maybe I just have to deal with it. But all of the other colors I really like. And I did get this in an 18-month planner as well. You can choose different start dates. I think it's July, August, or January. Yeah, so this is the dashboard layout. I'll just get to the back. I did order the extra notes pages. So I think they give you 20 extra notes pages in the back. However, this is very chunky. And so what I did last year, because I did use I used October and November of the next year for weekly planning pages. I also got the goals pages last year, I think, as an add-on, which was a new thing. So I used October and November, both monthly calendar and weekly pages. So I took out the September weekly pages and the December weekly pages, but I kept the monthly calendars in here for future planning, and that gave me just enough space, I felt like, to still have the book be manageable. So this is my planner from this year, 18 months with the goal pages, and this is the new 18-month planner. But as I'm looking at this, I don't know if these coils are the same or if one is a little bit bigger. Sorry guys, to me, this rose gold coil from my planner for 2024-2025 seems just a little bit bigger, but I'm not sure if it is. They might be the same size. Okay, so this is the dashboard layout in the bouquet design. The final set of planners that I got are the Daily Duo planners. These are the A5 size, and I got July through June, so we will go through the July through December book. So you open it up and you do have this plain vellum and then kind of your cover page, daily life planner, July through December, and a place for your name. And then you have 6 monthly boxes because this is a 6-month book, and you have July through December 2025 right here. And then January through December 2026 for future planning. And then you move right into your July calendar, your July dashboard, which looks super cute in the A5 size. You have a line page here, and then your weekly overview page. And this is new from last year. Last year, they added another lined page on one side and then a weekly overview or preview or review. You can use it however you want. It's not dated. This past year, I've been trying to use this for health tracking, which has worked really well. However, the fact that it's not dated is kind of confusing when I'm trying to refer back to things. So I've started dating it just so it's a little bit easier for me to keep track of things. And then your weekly layout is going to be the same. Monday is always going to be on the left. Tuesday is always going to be on the right. The daily pages are the same as last year. You have 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. with an extra section down here. You have your to-do list, and then you have this blank space here. They did take away that mini monthly calendar, which I think used to be right here. I've been using a daily duo since they came out. Prior to that, I used the undated daily petite planners, which I absolutely loved. Once you get to Sunday, then you get your new line page, and I use this as a brain dump for the week, and then your weekly overview or review if you want to come back and write something that happened over the day or over the week. You can come back and write it that way, and then you just move into your next pages. And every day has its own page, which is one of the reasons that I absolutely love the Daily Duo from Erin Condren, because a lot of times daily planners will have Saturday and Sunday share a page, but I need all of the space for Saturday and Sunday. So not always, but when I am planning on Saturday and Sunday, I want that whole space. I don't want it to be split between Saturday and Sunday. So then you move into August. Same layout as the 7x9 planner, your dashboard, your line page going into the month, and then your daily pages. And again, after every Sunday, between Sunday and Monday, you have one full line page and then this weekly spread, undated weekly spread. So then you get to September. And I really love the colors in the bouquet design. I really do. I think they're so pretty. October, November, which is not my favorite color. This I think is similar to the May color, but there's not a whole lot of color on the daily pages, which is why I decided to get the bouquet for daily instead of the hexagon. And then you have December. It's a little bit hard to turn these pages. Usually it's not too bad, but maybe it's just because I'm grabbing a couple of pages at a time. And so it goes all the way through Thursday, January 1st. You have 1 2/3 pages of notes, heritage and awareness observances, and then 2 pages of stickers and your folder. So that is how the Daily Duo is. And then this is the second book for the second half. Again, I got the rose gold coil. So this is my full launch day order with all of these planners. Oh guys, it's a lot of planners. I know it is. Do I need all of these planners? Nope. But I am trying to figure out exactly what I want to be using in the coming year, and so I'm glad to have them all to try. And like I said, this dashboard layout, I'm going to try it for all of my planning, and if it doesn't work, I will probably use it for work stuff. And then if I really don't need all of that space for weekly planning, I will have Emma try it and see if it works for her. My classic system of the vertical weekly and the daily duo, I just want to have that on hand in case all of my planning ideas do not work out. I am really excited to try this out. I want to do some more pen testing though, because obviously if there is bleed through from the dual tip markers, I can't use the dual tip markers in here. So I'm interested to see, like with the highlighters that, well, I guess I can just do that right now. If you guys are still watching, I would love for you to tell me that you're still watching. I use these highlighters for all of my weekly planning to designate different things. This is my book highlighter, which I don't really need, although I do use it to kind of separate lines sometimes. all of my color coding is pretty important to me. And I've been using the same color coding for forever. Oh, these are just the dual tip markers. Let's see. Old dual tip markers. This is Emma's color that I use for her homeschool planning, and this is her color for calendar stuff. Family color. Let's see. There is still a little bit of bleed through, not as bad for this one, which I think this was maybe the Flora design a few years ago, and not as bad on the old dual tip markers, still a little bit. Maybe if I had drawn a straight line, it would be different. I don't know. I'm unsure about this paper, guys. Okay, so this is my unboxing from EC Insider Launch Day. I would love to hear what you got and what you're interested in trying out. If you're going to be starting your planner early, if you get an 18-month planner and rip out some of the end pages because you do a lot of stickering or whatnot, I would love to hear all of your different ideas. So let me know in the comments. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're looking for more help and encouragement around planning and homeschooling and goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.